What up, everyone? I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunn, news editor at Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers.
And this is Full Size Run Show, your weekly dose of everything sneakers. Before we get into the show, do remember, you can always follow Full Size Run on Instagram and on Twitter at Full Size Run Show. We also have guests on deck from Sneakers the Book. We will be talking to Howie and Alex. We had a couple minutes to go through the book. There's a lot of great interviews in there. We're going to be breaking down the book in the process of bringing that book to the market. And of course, we have all of our segments. But very importantly, before we get into the show, Brendan and Welty, I want to mention.
Please do.
We've been getting a lot of.
Oh yeah. Now that okay, so we're on the Soul Collector YouTube page.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to that.
Right.
Also, we are now on the Complex YouTube page as well.
Correct.
And there is plenty of criticism.
Not only even on the Complex one, but also now it's seeped into Soul Collector.
This is so strange. So people are comparing us to Everyday Struggle, a popular Complex show.
Yes.
Full disclosure, we are in the same studio.
It's that simple.
We use the same table.
Because our budgets suck.
But let's just remember that we started 2.5 weeks before Everyday Struggle.
Tell them.
And there is literally nothing in common besides the studio, besides the table, besides the fact that we are people talking.
Yep.
I don't see the comparison other than that.
And the show doesn't happen every day, so.
But there is
very
plenty of
important
struggle
point.
involved, so I do understand that.
Also, very importantly, I am not white. Please stop. I'm not white. My last name is Lopez. I don't understand how y'all can't get this.
You are white.
I'm half Armenian, if that counts for anything.
He's white. I'm also white.
Brendan, we have news to get into.
Okay, the first thing we want to talk about is all the sneaker news that happened in the past week. Welty, first thing.
So, as everyone knows, ComplexCon is.
When is ComplexCon, first of all?
It is next week.
Next
right?
week, November 4th and
November
5th.
4th and 5th.
Long Beach,
Go buy
California.
your tickets. Go buy your tickets. They are quickly selling out.
Matt
ARD
Welty
is going to perform.
Matt Welty will be in the building.
I will be in the building.
Matt Welty will be in the building.
Sign autographs, or are you going to be too busy?
I might be signing some Adidas sneakers if you come up to me.
Okay.
Oh.
No boost.
Okay.
Last year was a big kind of moment for Nike in the Air Force One.
Yep.
You had Stadium Goods selling the 100 Grails. You also had the release of the SFAF1 at ComplexCon. Either way, got announced yesterday that there will be another massive Air Force One installation at ComplexCon this year. The biggest news is that there are 5 Air Force Ones dropping at ComplexCon this year. 5 of the biggest collaborations: Off-White, Acronym, Just Don, Travis Scott, and bring back the Rockefeller Air Force One.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Huge slate of releases.
Crazy.
The Off-White pair is an exclusive to ComplexCon. The rest of the stuff will getting a wider release later on.
Yep.
What are our favorite pairs from this set of Air Force Ones, by the way?
My obvious choice is going to be the Rockefeller Air Force Ones, just because that means so much to me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go with that obvious choice because I think that's too easy of a layup. I'm going to go with the Acronyms. I wanted the original run that we missed, and I did not think they were going to sell as fast as they did. They did. This is my consolation prize.
Let's talk about it for a second though, because I know there was a lot of discussion the other day about the Rockefeller Air Force Ones coming back and people's authenticity of being able to wear that shoe in 2017. What's your take on that?
I will say this. I'm not going to be exclusionary and say you can't rock sneakers if you're not this or not that. But I see where your point is. Like, it's a little culture vulture-y, it's a little poserish to rock a sneaker that has the Rock logo on it just because it's a sneaker and not because you can recite any bars from any Rock album at all.
It's not even just saying the music. It's like, if you want to talk about this might be like one of the most like street official sneakers of all time.
Sure. As christened by a street official man himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you a question though. Are you rocking this sneaker?
I'm not rocking it. So
Because of that?
Not because of that per se.
Okay.
But I think it's a dope sneaker. Maybe just not a sneaker for me, but I definitely see where that's a bit awkward.
Tell me yes or no.
He's saying no.
I'm not rocking it.
I am. Next.
You're rocking it.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have the juice?
Yes. Rich, let's talk about Big Baller Brand.
Let's always talk about Big Baller Brand. Any day we're not talking about Big Baller Brand is a day that didn't exist. So, Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, a legend in my eyes. He had some words to say about LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball, Big Baller Brand, the whole BBB movement.
Kobe basically said, quote, "It's not good enough to have a shoe and launch a shoe in that market, in that business. You have to make sure the product is there. That's the only way you can challenge the big guys, is if the innovation and the quality of the product is there," end quote. He also went on to say that he approves of the general idea of doing things one's own way.
being indie?
independent, but
Okay.
kind of suggesting, I think, as we all have agreed, that the innovation isn't there. The product doesn't really speak for itself. I mean, basically,
Right, so he's basically shitting on the sneaker.
yeah,
in not so direct
a,
terms.
Yeah, in a quite PC way that maybe wouldn't make
But he's
headlines.
being honest. That's been the biggest criticism of Big Baller Brand is that like you can't charge $500 for a sneaker if your sneaker's fucking trash.
Yeah. More important to me is that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, in my personal opinion, the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, and my second greatest player of all time, Kobe Bryant, have both spoken about Big Baller Brand.
So they're winning.
LeVar and Lonzo are still winning. It doesn't matter what the product is like because they're keeping BBB in headlines, and to me, that's dope.
Hopefully we'll get our hands on a pair.
Yes.
Next sneaker news item that we want to talk about is the latest bit of Adidas Yeezy 350. Sorry, Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2. I always get it wrong. Rumored
mouthful.
release info. This stuff has been shifting quite a bit. The semi-frozen yellow pair is supposed to release on November 18, followed by the Beluga 2.0 that you see here on November 25th. Of course, these are renderings. There are no leaked images. A busy month for Adidas, but I don't think they're going to overshadow what Nike's doing this month. 'Cause
Oh,
Nike
absolutely
has
not.
all this Air Force One stuff. All this Virgil stuff is going to come back again. I mean,
And the
Absolutely
shoe
not.
is fucking tired. So
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like we put this, full disclosure, we put this sneaker in the show because we have to.
yeah.
We don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Period. Not because it's not a good sneaker, not because of anything else, but we've spoken about it at length every damn show, and we're still doing it because we have to. Kanye never really came out and pushed this sneaker at all. He wore it a couple times, but never like spoke on it.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of moved on in
To
terms
the
of footwear,
500,
so it's-
700.
All right,
We should all move on.
Let's move on. Welty, what's up next?
what's up next? Dude.
What's up next? What's up next, Welty?
The best and worst of the week?
Yes, that is
Sorry.
up next, Wealthy.
Sorry.
What is the best and worst of the week, Wealthy? Let us know.
Well, I mean, we've seen some crazy shit, but
Yes.
you know, Brendan, there was something that you saw on the internet this week.
Yeah. My best pick of the week, something that was actually a little bit older, but is just now surfacing for sale. This Nike knife that an artist here in New York City created. He only made 10 of them.
That's the story. Okay.
He's selling them for $2,500. So I unfortunately will not be getting one.
Is that your price range?
It's just
that in
barely.
the budget?
I would love to have one of these for unboxings and things of that nature.
We
Or,
need
you
one
know,
right here.
If you're at a sneaker lineup and things get dicey, you just pull out the, you know.
You gotta have your Rock Air Force Ones on though.
This thing is amazing. I hope this guy doesn't get sued by Nike. Maybe he'll just fly under the radar. I don't know.
I mean, do they really want to test them if that's what he's got?
It's part of a series. He also has like a Facebook logo crowbar.
Do you
and
think
these,
do you
like,
think he's gonna
McDonald's brass
open the
knuckles.
cease and desist letter with? Would you rock these with a pair of air stabs?
Where do you come up with this
All
shit,
right,
dude?
Welty, tell me about the best thing you saw in sneakers this week.
Best thing I saw.
This is the best?
This is the best.
Okay, I just
Or it's
I just wanted to know.
I'll put it this way: it's a cool thing that I saw in sneakers this
Okay.
week.
It better be the best, man. That's what the segment's all about.
Yeah, bro.
It better be the fucking
You're
best.
telling me it's the best. It's the best. I'm gonna assume it's the best.
This year, Sneaker Room, a shop in Jersey City, New Jersey, is doing a collaboration with Nike to bring back the Air More Money,
Which is a reinterpretation of Reggie Miller's
or
old SIG.
or wasn't his SIG, but he was a shoe that he had a P.
you get what I'm saying.
They're doing it every year. They do a shoe for breast cancer. Last year was actually the first year that they had done an official collaboration with Nike on the Air Trainer Cruise. 3 sneakers in limited different quantities. The white is going to be general release. The black one is going to be 40 pairs. The pink one's going to be like 100 something like that. So
Okay.
And they tier the pricing up, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
$2,000.
But all the proceeds go to breast cancer
That's
charity.
cool. That's cool.
Last year, I think they raised something like $70,000.
That's great.
For that, which is cool. I think it's to me, it's like not a shoe that I personally really go for, but I can get behind doing something like that within sneakers.
I think we spoke about this, Welty. One of the strangest things we've seen this year is this Air More Money now resurgence being put through these influencers that
Yeah, like
no one really knows about.
Desus and Mero had
Well,
the
we know
first,
Desus
the
and
first set of pairs.
Ninth
Like Ninth Wonder
Wonder.
had a pair. It
That,
was
to
such
me,
a
when Ninth,
strange
I'm like,
way.
I like Ninth Wonder. You
Right.
know, I don't need Ninth Wonder to get a sneaker collaboration.
Big Crit also
Yeah, he had
has
a
a
pair.
pair this week.
All right.
It's a very interesting rollout for
Early
this
guest
sneaker.
on sneaker shopping. Shout out.
Shout out to Big Crit.
Rich, tell us about the worst thing you saw in sneakers or online this week.
Yes. I mean, there's probably a ton of bad things I saw, but this was really, really bad. And that is Nike's new MPLS throwback. Dude, this is terrible. The jersey itself is fine, whatever. You have to put the Nike swoosh on it. I understand that now. That ad.
Do you
I don't
wish
understand.
it wasn't like this?
Don't kill the segment until I'm done with it.
He's so proud of himself when he makes these fucking jokes.
Listen, I understand that NBA teams have ads on their jerseys now. I get it. But MPLS never had an ad on its jersey, so what's up with this revisionist history of putting the ad on the jersey? I don't understand why we're doing that. It makes no sense.
All about the fucking dollars, bro.
I understand it, but it makes it a completely inauthentic jersey. I wish it wasn't there. I'm gonna give you that. But at the same time, who even knows if Wish was around when the Lakers were playing in Minneapolis?
What is Wish?
I don't even know.
We're not talking about the sneaker boutique.
That's the
obviously.
point. I don't even know. It's disgusting. Shouldn't be there.
Did you have one of the throwbacks back in the day?
And I rocked it down to my ankles like Fab. Shout out to Fabulous.
I want to talk about the cop or drop section. Every week we like to break down the sneakers that are releasing, pick our favorites, our least favorites. Rich,
Yes.
you want to start us off with your cop from this week?
Yes, absolutely. My cop for this week is the Doc Brown Nike Vandal. Great sneaker. I'm a huge fan of the Nike Vandal itself.
How did this not happen before? This is obviously a Back to the Future reference, Doc Brown wearing
This is
them in the
also
movie.
like the most obscure sneaker in the movie.
yeah.
In
So
the,
far, maybe there's some like random scene that we forgot about.
They
that
did
someone's wearing a
the
pair.
Bruin.
Yep.
They did the Mag,
course.
obviously, and this one. This sneaker is absolute fire to me. I'm a huge fan of the Vandal. I beat to death my Atlanta Hawks Vandals that I had back in the day, and this is just dope.
My cop of the week, we talked about the shoe last week, the Supreme Humara. I think it's the pink pair for me. I've been kind of going back and forth on which colorway.
Nah?
I don't
No,
know.
these are hard.
I don't
Oh,
know
okay,
if
okay.
I'll have any chance at it, especially since we have this strange thing in the office where we can't actually access the
Yo.
Supreme website.
Complex is banned from copying Supreme.
It's strange.
Supreme won't let Complex employees access their site to cop things on
It's a true
Thursday morning.
story.
So
You'd actually
we-
have to go off of the Wi-Fi in the office,
Yes.
which
Or
would
go
be a
through a
shoddy
proxy.
situation.
which is the reason why I work home on Thursdays. No, I'm just joking.
I'm going to try my best, though. They're going to hit Nike sneakers
Yeah.
sooner or later.
You
I
going
want
for the tracksuit,
I want
the hat?
I want
You want
it
the
all.
whole joint? Are
I
you
want-
going pink from head to toe?
I think so, right? I think that's...
It's a bit much.
What if you wear
looking
like
like a roadman?
What if you go pink,
I mean,
green, and blue,
you
and
can
then
style
black?
it for me.
What's your cop, Wealthy?
My cop of the week.
Wait, could it? This is just a total.
Might be.
a total guess, but is it some obscure Adidas retro model? Is
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I
it
did,
is.
that I didn't
that's
hear
what-
about until
that
30 seconds
okay.
before the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you didn't even know about.
I didn't.
Bro, you do the release roundup.
I
and you
do.
do a little more rounding up.
Nope.
All right.
My cop of the week is the Adidas handball top. This shoe came back randomly. Don't fucking give me that sigh, bro.
It's a nice looking shoe.
Nice
didn't
looking
say
shoe.
anything.
Basically, an Adidas collector in Europe had the original pair of the shoe. Went super hard for like a year and a half, like posting them like every week. Finally got the attention of Adidas, and he's like, "I have the original shoe. You guys can go recreate it. Here you go." And they actually listened to the collectors to bring back a retro model.
Rich, what's your drop of the week?
Wow, fuck you, man.
My drop of the week, and Wealthy, I know you will completely co-sign this, is the Adidas NMD XR1 Winterized.
Absolute flames.
This is turning a bad shoe worse.
Yo, imagine actually wearing that shoe in the
No,
snow.
I don't actually. No, I couldn't actually even be caught dead with this sneaker. This, like, you're making the cut 4 or 5 inches higher. This is just terrible.
Don't send us a pair of these. My drop of the week is the Tinker Blue Nike Hyper Adapt 1.0.
This is the biggest surprise I've ever heard in the history of the show.
Really?
Tell me why.
Because I think that like they had like a mood board at Nike, and they're like
Brendan Dunn.
what can we get Brendan Dunn to write
What
about?
can we sell to Brendan
They're like,
Dunn?
we're gonna take some super techie shoe that's only available on Sneakers app and
Slap
like
Tinker's name on it.
slap Tinker's name on it.
Well, it didn't work.
Brendan's gonna eat this shit
It
up.
didn't
They
work.
probably even gave you the early link to the images on the back end so you could put it on there. It's the one time you didn't have to hack the website.
I did post this before anybody else because a different site had the images from Nike Asia, I think, and then was asked to take them down. but
Why
we
are you
did keep them
dropping
up,
this?
So that happened. I'm just tired of the HyperAdapt 1.0. I don't think it looks good when it's this colorful. I think even our editor-in-chief, Gerald, was at a dinner with Tinker Hatfield this week, Flex, and he asked him about this shoe, and Tinker himself was like, that's such a stupid name. And this whole thing, that you've mentioned, Rich, where now that Tiffany Beers has left Nike, Nike
little
wants
weird.
to pretend like Tiffany Beers
little
didn't
weird.
design this shoe, and they
Yeah.
want to attach Tinker's name to it so much. I don't need this. I like the Hyper Adapt plenty, but tell me about your drop of the week.
My drop of the week is Adidas Terex collab done with Exhibition, shop in Ohio. Look,
Tell us why you don't like this.
Look,
What's wrong with this thing?
My issue is that, so
Go ahead.
I woke up this morning, right?
Good,
Oh
thank
my
God.
God.
Thank God for that.
I woke up this morning.
Where did you wake up, by the way?
In my
Some back
bed.
alley.
Wow.
In my bed. I woke up in my bed this morning.
That's a rarity.
Yeah, I woke up in Secaucus, New Jersey. I woke up and I saw Exhibition X Adidas, and I was like, oh shit, like what did they get?
Yeah.
You know, and then I clicked.
Amped. Only because it said Adidas, you were amped. Right.
Clicked it and was like, man, this fucking sucks. Number one, wool shoes can go all the fuck the way out of the building.
That's number one. What's number two?
Number two, it's like, you had to like be like last on the fucking list of like sneakers to
Get this
choose
silhouette.
from to get this one.
That's tough. We'll take that one out and ride into our interview. As I said earlier in the intro, we have two men behind Sneakers, the book. And we're going to talk about the book and how it came to be. Let's bring on Howie and Alex. First of all, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it. Give us the background of the book. What is Sneakers, the book?
Howie and I are journalists, and we're always looking for sort of subcultures to investigate. And sneakers as a fashion object, we're sort of starting to make this transition from something that like a medium-sized, super passionate population was really into to something that like our like banker and publicist friends were like.
From non-sneakerheads.
From non-sneakerheads.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's a lot of really great daily sneaker resources out there, like what you guys do. So we were like, like, what if we started talking to the people
There's
who are
only
actually...
one. There's only one great daily sneaker resource, and that is, of course, SoulCollector.com.
Yes.
So we started talking about like, okay, like what if we started talking to the people who are like powering, or the people who are behind this sort of, this real crescent energy and interest and things like that. And that's sort of how this came to be. Sort of simultaneously, Rodrigo Corral, the really wonderful designer who packaged these things together, was also thinking about a sneaker book too, and it was just sort of kismet. Yeah.
You wrote this book not with sneakerheads in mind.
We wrote this book with everybody in mind.
Okay.
We wanted to get everybody, the people who are super passionate, the people who can have a daily show and sound informed and smart and funny and will maybe give
Yeah,
us
but
shit
nobody
for
called
things in
us.
the book. We did call you.
Oh, okay.
We called.
We missed a full-size run chapter.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
And people who maybe didn't know and want to learn, and also, a kid who's maybe just getting into it and wants to know everything all in one place. We wanted it to be a fun thing to read, a useful thing to read, something that spoke to people's passions,
How did you guys set out to create, like what was the starting point for this book? I understand the background of it, but where did you start? What was A1, the first thing we're going to do?
We knew we had to speak to some history first. We knew we couldn't launch, our first book about sneakers without talking to some key figures at the very beginning. Guys like Bobbito Garcia, guys like DJ
Peter
Clark
Moore.
Kent, guys like Peter Moore at Nike. So
Who was your first interview?
Bobbito Garcia was our first interview.
Shout out to
It was
Bob.
it was on a playground in Chinatown. It was right before he was
Very
gonna play some ball. And there were a bunch of kids playing basketball, like little kids, 11-year-olds or whatever. And one of the kids was wearing Air Force Ones, which was amazing. And I was like, do you know who that guy is?
Yeah.
And they were like, no. And then another kid was wearing slides. And it was kind of
Were they
amazing.
big baller slides?
It was pre-Big Baller. Big Baller was
Dark times.
just a gleam in Lonzo Ball's eye.
Big ballers only slides.
What was the most surprising interview out of it for you guys?
So Howie and I both really like glommed on to different aspects of this. Like Howie got really into like innovation and sort of going to big corporations like Adidas and Nike where people had access to like the machinery of the industry. And I was super attracted to sort of like the people who were kind of like on the outskirts of all of that. And I think the sort of the most surprising people sort of like for me like sort of existed in that space, like Gary Lockwood, Freehand Prophet, who's tearing apart like Total Grails and making gas masks out of them. Like that was just sort of like the first time I saw those, I was like, holy shit. Like a lot of those interviews were really surprising to me, like hearing people talk about, like having to sort of fight their way into, into the system, into the culture. Yeah.
By the way, I've been thinking this the whole time, and I'm glad I flipped past this page. How much does this guy look like Mark Dolce? Did you think that when you first saw him?
Him?
Yeah.
Alex
quite
French,
a-
Mark Dolce doppelganger.
Quite a resemblance.
I look at
in
him
my
like
opinion.
every day, and that's never.
Really?
occurred
No,
to
that's
me.
never occurred to me.
No
Yeah,
relation
that's super
to your-
funny. No, no.
All right. Who was the hardest to get then of everyone that you did?
There's a
then?
lot of people in there with super busy schedules. I mean, just to line things up with Nike.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tinker
like,
Hatfield,
negotiating
I see
with
in
Nike
here.
is like negotiating with a government. I've gotten the journal. No, it is. I mean, I've gotten the journalist visa to get into China quicker than I've gotten interviews at Nike. But once you're in, and once they commit to the project, they were fantastic.
Yeah,
so once it was, after the negotiations, it was just like, here's Tinker, here's Bruce Kilgore. Like we went out there and we did it all in one shot. Here's
Dope.
Jesse Leva.
Like once we had chapters sort of coming together and being written,
Right.
we had a pretty limited window of time where we had to get chapters to Rodrigo and his team to, we photoed a lot of stuff, art was created, all these things had to be done. So we had this like really little window of time where we would be like, oh man, like we should get this guy. So we sort of ran out of time. There were people who were like, oh, they didn't answer the email in the first 5 seconds, so like we just got to move on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask, the story of sneakers has been told and told and told and told, and maybe there's some people in the book that were like, we were personally kind of like, hey, that person shouldn't be, part of the story, or like, I'm sick and tired of like hearing the story from this person for the umpteenth time. Did
Who
you
are
ever
those people,
like
Welty?
what?
Who are those people?
I mean, I don't want to hear Jeff Staple ever talk about the pigeon dunk again. I'm sorry, but that's just
You got no time for Jeff Staple? You
No.
can tell it to his face when he
No.
comes on the show.
No, okay. Either way, but did you ever like? I know you said maybe it's for everyone. Did you ever worry that you were maybe gonna like retell too many stories, too many
Yeah, all
things
the
as
time.
a journalist?
We know who we thought about a lot is the people in this office, because that's like the real filter. That's like the real bar for the knowledge and the taste. And it's like I was
Say
always
that
thinking,
again.
it's the bar for
look
the
at the
knowledge and the
camera.
taste. It's
Okay,
true. It's
thank
in
you.
this room. It's in this office. Like these guys know more about sneakers than anybody. They cover
Sell
it.
'em.
My eye
It's
right now.
it's job. It's work.
To get to that though, so like I get that.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. I think a lot of those people still have stories that are worth telling and being known. You know what I mean? Like there are some people in the book that are they don't have 50 million Instagram followers. Maybe they have 20,000 Instagram followers. So there was a guy I met in there named Justin Snowden, and I met him in Undefeated in
Just
LA.
randomly. You were shopping.
Okay.
I was sneaker shopping. It was
Yeah.
the day that the Black Toes dropped, and I was in there, and he was with his girlfriend, and he was decked out. He looked awesome, and he was in all Adidas.
He got
stuff.
a fit off.
Yeah, he looked great.
important.
And and I started talking to this guy, and he was telling me that he only buys Adidas, and he got into this story about like, it started when I was a kid. You couldn't wear Nike and Adidas together because then you had mixed
Oh
emotions.
my God, never.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And it sort of generated this whole conversation. Where
Doesn't
we got
cut
to
the tags
fact-
until he wears something.
doesn't
Sometimes
cut the
doesn't
tag,
cut the tags at all.
keeps the receipts in the pocket so he has like this memory of the what was going on in his life.
Yeah.
But he started talking about. Said to him like, how many pairs do you have? He was like, 400 or 500 pairs of Adidas at home. And then I was like, how
Welty,
do you?
how
Like,
are you-
what's
You're
the?
making Welty
with
hot
that.
right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
got to
what's?
introduce him.
He was like, what's your rotation? He was like, I don't wear any of them.
What?
And
Okay.
I just keep them in boxes, stash them around. Like I display them like art.
Where can we find this book if we wanted to purchase it?
Booksellers everywhere.
Booksellers everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay.
Bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah,
You know
we
what?
sold out
Wait,
yesterday.
Congratulations.
There's a lot of people worked on this book, and just to watch what they were putting together every day, their photography assets, there's watercolor paintings in there, there's hand drawings, there's abstract work, there's collage, the way the photos are, and just
Very
to,
nice,
even just to see the outtakes would have been a good book.
Yeah.
So making the physical book was the fun part. Of course, you don't know how people are going to respond to a physical book. You people who like sneakers also like books, and we were betting on yes, because as much as the digital world is where the news is and how everyone digests information, sneaker people are object people. They want to hold something. They want to collect something.
Dope. So, fellas, you'll stick around. We have another segment.
Yeah, as per usual, at the end of the show, we like to dip into our mailbag and take a couple user-submitted questions. If you guys have anything you want us to address on the show, please let us know in the YouTube comments. We will comb through those and find the most intelligent of them, which is often a difficult task. You can also hit us. First question we have today is from Patrick Villar on YouTube. He wants to know, what is the worst sneaker in your collection and why? Gentlemen,
do
you can
fellas-
field
do you
this
want-
one
do you
as
wanna
well
answer?
if you want to.
Yeah.
Nike ID'd a pair of Hirachis to look like Mars yards, and when I washed them, all the suede on the sides ran into the white paneling. they're pretty terrible.
I'm so glad. There's so many Nike ID decisions that I'm glad I never made. You know, it's like late one night and it's like 1 a.m. and you're like, man, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and just make it happen. But
you don't even drink, so it's like you don't even have that excuse, man. You don't even have that excuse.
What is the worst sneaker in your collection?
Oh man, I actually have a pair of Jordan 21 SEs. I believe that. And
That sneaker does suck.
That sneaker sucks. I bought them
100%.
100%. I bought them.
You bought them?
I was working at Foot Locker and they were $20
With your own money.
99 cents. They were
That's-
I got 21 for 21
for 21.
bucks.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what
know,
a
but
deal.
you could have went to like the food court in the mall and got something better for $21 than that sneaker, dude. I think. What is your worst sneaker?
Justin Japaya in the comments is suggesting it's the Wheat Packer
That's
Reebok.
not in my collection though. That's in yours.
No, he's saying that for me.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think so. It's really hard for me to pick an actual worst because, and this is going to sound precious, but brands send us a lot of stuff that we don't want.
Oh,
you
flex
know?
again.
I mean, come on. we all of us, we get shoes in the mail that you see and you're like, I wish I didn't have to figure out what to do with this. So I'm gonna set all those aside and only focus
set
on
those
stuff
aside. Yeah.
I've paid money for, and I would say the Shooting Stars foam posit pack.
Oh, God.
Just because
Oh,
I
that
spent
shit sucks.
whatever retail was it 500,
Wait,
and I was
you-
like, I'm just gonna sit on this and flip this, but then they sat at. So not only is it not a great shoe, but just that I thought I was being savvy by buying it to resell.
And you
it's-
still have it in your collection?
I'm just waiting for the day. Maybe Penny Hardaway will die, God forbid,
Chill.
and the value will skyrocket. I don't know, but yes, it's at the very bottom of a tall
Or
stack
maybe
of
one day you
sneakers.
can bequeath it on your next of kin. Well,
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Hopefully.
We should do a giveaway on Full Size Run with your Shooting
your
Stars.
worst sneaker.
I might have to dust out the Shooting Stars pack. Rich, what's yours?
My worst sneaker, and this is a sad story actually. My worst sneaker is, and I hate to say this because it's whatever. It's my bespoke Air Force One that I made. You don't ever.
I want to
really-
see these.
I'll bring them
I
in.
wanna
It's
see
actually
these.
an okay sneaker, but the point why I'm saying it's the worst is like you really only get but so many chances to bespoke a sneaker. I was lucky enough for Nike to give me that chance.
Flex.
And I didn't nail it.
It's like this Nike ID thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially because it's like a moment in time,
Yep.
and it's all on you, and it feels even worse because you're like,
Yeah.
not only does this suck, but I designed this.
I didn't.
best-
I didn't nail it. It's an $800 sneaker. I didn't pay for it, thank God. But
The best
I loved
advice
it.
that I've ever gotten from people who do that sort of stuff for a living is like they're like, don't try to like make something crazy. They're like, just go in there and just try to make a colorway that you think looks good.
which
You know, like,
which is what I did.
Yeah.
But I still
You dropped
I didn't
the ball.
lock it.
What does it look like?
We'll bring it in.
We'll bring it in.
We'll bring it
All
in.
right, cool.
Worst sneaker in your
No,
collection.
my curation's tight, man.
Someone's lying on set today.
We have AP on Twitter saying, what is a favorite shoe in your collection that most people have never seen, never heard of? He wants something more obscure and random, not just something super rare. I'll take this one, actually. I have a pair of Nike Blazers that was like a UK only release from like 5 years ago. It's a blue leather pair with like a snakeskin swoosh, and it looks a lot like those Stussy all courts that they did. And one of the guys at Mercer was like bugging me, trying to figure out where I got them from too. So and I wear those regularly, so that's high up there.
you don't know what it is for you?
No, I don't. Go ahead. I'll come back to it.
I have some Complex X Vans 420 lace-ups, sort of green suede on the.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
they were released in April, and they're like the sides, the upper is sort of like a tropical print.
Oh,
They're pretty
okay.
cool, sort of green suede on the toe.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Very
what
nice.
is it for you?
It's actually a shoe that I really, really regret letting go of.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna say buying.
No, really regret letting go of like 10, 12 years ago. I went to an old Nike sort of R&D lab, and they had a pair of the Nike Air Terra Goatex.
Yeah.
I used to have that shoe. I used to rock it. It was the gray blue, and then it had the yellow. I got rid of those. I sold them. I think I paid whatever. I sold them for $150.
So they're
on
not in your
Nike Talk,
collection.
and I'm fucking mad at myself for it still.
I think mine, now that you mentioned it, you went like with the UK. I'm gonna say it's the un-Heineken Nike Dunk High that dropped years back, maybe over
not
a
an
decade
SB,
ago.
ju-
Just
Yeah,
regular,
yeah.
but it was a like a Euro UK exclusive. Fire.
Yeah.
Fire
I saw
sneaker.
those at a DNA when we were reporting this book, and they were something that I never knew actually existed.
Right.
I had heard of them.
Black with the green swoosh, red
Yeah,
laces.
amazing.
Absolute fire.
Amazing.
No one's ever heard of that sneaker probably, but
Amazing.
Your favorite?
I don't have anything that
What?
obscure. I'm like the least fun in this category.
Look at his feet.
Wait, hold on. I
Look at
didn't
his
want
feet.
something. Is that your only pair of sneakers?
I have one pair of sneakers. I really
like you
don't
just
know.
like you have this, and we co-signed it, so there's not anything else.
The truth comes out. All right, you're going to skip on that question as well. We will do some digging. We have Mr. Mr. Poundamount, sorry if I mispronounced that on YouTube, saying, if you could get any athlete to switch brands with a magic wand right now, who and where to? And another viewer from New Zealand. Shout out to you,
New Zealand. This one's easy for me. It'd be LeVar Ball to...
Not Lonzo? You want LeVar?
I'm sorry, LeVar Ball too. Lonzo Ball, the whole Ball family. It would be Lonzo Ball to...
Skechers? Wait, they're already there.
Oh.
Zing. It would be Lonzo Ball to Jordan.
Okay.
I would say Steph Curry to anybody.
Yeah, you're not feeling the Under Armour stuff?
Anybody. I would like to see Steph Curry in Ewings before Under Armour.
Oh, Jesus
right.
Christ. Shout out to Patrick Ewing. All right.
I don't have any strong opinions about this one.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Lonzo Ball.
This is a great question. Kid Alt Life on Twitter wants to know, does Matthew J. Welty outright hate Jordans? Is it more the fact that he wouldn't be caught dead in a pair? Like, explain
shout out to this kid. He hits me up.
This deep-seated...
I was supposed to meet up with him. This kid works at Size in Copenhagen.
Why do you have this hatred for Jordan?
Because, all right, here's the real...
We're going to get to it. We're going to
Here's
get
the
to
real truth
it.
of it. So when I was never a big Jordan guy growing up. Just is what it is, right?
Gotcha.
That was not a deep-seated
appreciate
hatred or
that.
whatever, just more different shit,
admitting.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I got into sneaker media, like, you know, around like 2012, 2013,
Yeah.
when Jordans were like the shit, I really felt like the people who were into Jordans and into basketball sneakers when I was into different stuff were really fucking condescending.
You felt you were excluded from the cool guy group because you didn't like Jordan.
Yeah,
But now you're at the top of the cool guy.
Right?
No, but I'm not. But I really felt like there was a real condescending sort of thing because the people who wore Jordans thought that they were the fucking shit.
Right.
And now all of a
Still
sudden
do.
now all of a sudden that Jordans aren't I'll go fuck this shoe. No. This one gets a pass. No,
Oh, you co-signed my J's. Thank
dude,
you.
I like Jordans from like a design aesthetic and that sort
Okay.
of stuff. I can appreciate it. I mean, I wrote a piece for Complex Sneakers, like why I don't wear Air Jordans, and it kind of outlines that. I just think but also.
So you're still harboring those deep feelings
no, I'm
today.
harboring.
We can get past
maybe
that.
we just let go of them.
Yeah, we can get past that.
I just think some people out there want to be about it with some sort of sneakers.
About
and,
it.
And
Okay.
they don't really have the fucking leg up in the game. So.
Got it. Okay, that was a lot deeper than I thought. Fellas, thank you both for joining us today. I wish you guys the best of luck with the book. I do hope to see you guys on Price the Hype one day. I do want to make that happen. I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunn, news editor at Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers.
Till next time, y'all. Peace.
Listen, this is important. I need you to subscribe. They're going to make me keep wearing these fake Skechers Yeezys until we hit 50,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to Soul Collector on YouTube. Now.